Well, everybody, this is going to be part four of my 1930s through 1970s movie collection for 2025 edition. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's continue. And we're finished with the 1930s. And now, let's get on to 1940s. So, here we go. Oh, sorry about that. The tape fell. So, anyways, let's begin and let's continue, shall we? Classic right here from 1940. June 9th, 1988, I think. March 31st, 2000. I've seen this movie before, back in 2022, but it needs a rewatch. December 3rd, 1992, and the 49th week of 1992. Classic, classic right here from 1940 that I've rewatched last year. Reprint from April 22nd, 1998. Guts tape brand new. And I will get private Buck Privates Come Home in the future. Another reprint. September 28th, 1999. And the 39th week of 1999. Needs a rewatch soon, so yep. And I will rewatch RKO 281 in the future as well, after I plan on getting another VCR player. In which I'll plan on getting a VCR player for Christmas soon. June 18th, 1998. October 23rd, 1991, and the I think the 43rd week of 1991. I did watch this movie last year, and it was a classic. And I forgot this movie is Halloween, so sorry I forgot to show this tape back in October of this year. But I'm showing it right now. December 3rd, 1998. And the 49th week of 1998. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch. After I plan on getting a VCR player in the future, like after Christmas. And so let you know that those tapes are about to fall. So, well, I guess I'll get some more tapes. I've seen this movie before, back in 2023, but I need a rewatch soon. June 22nd, 1994, and the 29th week of 1994. Or, oh, I see it. It's actually the 25th week of 1994. My mistake on that. Sorry, I thought I said the 29th week of 1994. But it's actually the 25th week of 1994. So, my mistake on that. There. That's better. So anyways, let's continue. February February 18th, 1995, and the 7th week of 1995. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon. August 26, 1995. The print date is March 6th, 1997, so printed my birthday that year, and 5 years before I was born. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch. Oh, shoot. Yeah, those tapes are falling for some odd reason. Don't worry, I'll fix it uh, at the end of this video. The print date is April 24th, 1990. I believe I got this tape brand new. And of course, I had the tape since July of this year. And this is a reprint as well. October 9th, 1997. But even though this tape is from 1989. Classic 1942 movie right here that has Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. And of course, I rewatched it last year. September 21st, 1994, and the 38th week of 1994. July 27th, 1994, and the 30th week of 1994. And once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch. And this is also a reprint. This time it's December 19th, 2003. So this is a much later pressing. But even though this, I've already popped in a tape. This tape has previews from 1991 at the beginning, so yep. Which is kind of rare if I say so myself. And I did watch this movie back in 2022. And it was a classic. Probably needs a rewatch in the future as well, so yep. January 10th, 1995. And the second week of 1995. And I have the remake, which is Always from 1989, which I have that on VHS as well. And the print date is August 28th, 1996. And of course, I did watch this movie back in December of last year. It was a classic from 1944 that stars Judy Garland. And the print date is October 21st, 1995. And if you guys haven't seen this movie, definitely recommend it since heard it's one of the best movies of 1944. Got this tape from Goodwill back in September 2017 and needed a rewatch soon. July 22nd, 1987 and September 11th, 1987. And printed the 37th week of 1987. I remember watching this movie back in, I think, October of 2020 and need a rewatch soon. I think the print date is November 18th, 1990 and November 30th, 1990. And the week in your code's the 48th week of 1990. January 28th, 1996. And the 4th week of 1996. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch. And the lid is broken on this tape, but at least the rest of the tape still plays fine. So, yep. And once again, needs a rewatch soon after almost 6 years. So, yep. This movie right here is a classic from 1945 that stars Mickey Rooney and Elizabeth Taylor. September 17th, 1992. Once again, this movie right here needed a rewatch soon. And of course, I've seen this movie before. back in 2023. May 11th, 1999. Half the label is ripped, but at least the rest of the tape still plays fine. No biggie. Classic 1945 movie right here that stars Gregory Peck and Ingrid Bergman. July 30th, 1996, and the 30th week of 1996. I haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I will soon, so, yep. February 7th, 1996, and I think the 6th week of 1996. Got this tape from Goodwill back in November 2016. And I got this tape brand new, so, yep. And of course, this movie is a classic from 1946 that stars James Stewart, Donna Reed, and this movie has Lionel Barrymore. October 17th, 1999, so printed 2 weeks before Halloween that year. Once again, haven't seen this movie yet, but I will get around in the future. February 19th, 1996, and the 8th week of 1996. Classic movie from 1947, but it needs a rewatch soon. November 10th, 1997. And I will about to show the rest of these tapes. So, yep. Then I'll stop here for part 5 afterwards. And I got this tape brand new, so just let you all know on that. I need to write the print date down soon. And recycle tape from the 26th week of 1993, and the regular week and year codes the 13th week of 1995. Um, October 9th, 1997. And after the video, I'm about to eat breakfast and getting dressed. And I haven't seen this movie yet, unfortunately, but I'll get to around in the future. So, yep. Got this tape from the NEC thrift store back in 2017. It was a couple months before we moved to Lewiston. November 19th, 1994. And I do have the remake, which I'm about to show on my 90s movie collection for 2025 edition soon. After I showed my 80s movie collection. And of course, I've seen this movie before, back in 2022. January 18th, 1991. And I thought there's no print date. Never mind. No print date. The other print date is no print date. And the third week of 1991. And of course, I did remember watching this movie back in 2021, but it needs a rewatch soon. After I plan on getting a VCR player in the future after Christmas. And like I said, I'll plan on getting a VCR player for Christmas this year. Maybe. Classic 1948 movie, but it needs a rewatch. June 22nd, 1993. This is the 1949 version of The Secret Garden. June 6, 1994. And I did remember watching this movie back in 2021, but it needs a rewatch soon. February 15th, 1993. I've seen this movie before, back in 2020, but it needs a rewatch soon. April 16th, 1998. CFC, so this is a Canadian copy. Classic 1949 movie that stars Gregory Peck that I've first time watched back in 2023. June 20th, 1998. And the 24th week of 1998. And lastly, here's the last tape that I'm about to show. Classic 1949 to 1950 movie, but needs a rewatch. And of course, this movie has Orson Welles in it. Well, everybody, there you have it for my 1930s through 1970s movie collection 2025 edition. Stay tuned for part 5. So anyways, this is Superman Me Chosen 2. See y'all later, and hope you have a fun rest of your Monday mornings. So, yep.